Hi guys, Tom Morrison here, and I'm going to take you through a nice lower back mobility superset. So this is going to help relax the hips to ease off the lower back, and then we're going to do some deep core activation as well to hopefully get things feeling stronger so that they don't keep playing up on you. So make sure you have a nice soft mat if possible, or carpet to be on, and a pillow that you can use for your knee as well. So first thing we're going to do is get the hips relaxed. So you're going to come down to your ground and you're going to put your pillow underneath your left knee. First of all, from here, we're going to bring the right leg out nice and far until we get a little bit of a stretch on the inside of the thigh. We're then going to rock backwards like this and then forwards. This is going to be the first exercise that we're using. So it's a half straddle kind of rock back and forth. So rocking back and then forwards, that's one. Trying to keep that nice stretch in the muscle on the inside of the thigh. And then forwards, that's two. The whole time you're doing this, keep your breathing really relaxed. That's three. And back again, four. And then again, and that's five. If that feels okay, then go out a little touch further. So I just shimmied my foot out a little bit, so I went out heel, and then toes out, and then a rock back and forward again, a little bit further. Nice and slow, nice and relaxed. The foot moves, that's okay, or you can try and keep it down. Play around with it, having a wiggle. And then we're going to swap over and do the other side. So we go right knee, have your pillow, left leg goes out nice and far, and then we rock back and forwards, getting a nice stretch on the adductors, so all on the inside. So we don't want to feel it in the knee, we want to feel it in the muscle. So back and forward, we're going to go for 5 rocks. Then when we've done that, we then do a little shimmy out again. So heel toe, a little bit further if it feels okay. Backwards and forwards, moving nice and slow, just to get the hips stretched out a little bit. So on this leg here that's bent as well, you're getting a bit of a quad stretch too. And this leg's getting the inner thigh. Awesome. So we've done both sides. Bring yourself to sitting position. I'm going to just relax for a little bit of a second here, and then we're going to stretch out the front of the hips as well. So what you're going to do here is just lie down on your side, and if you can, try and grab hold of your ankle. From there, you're going to just reach your leg back and try and get a stretch in the front, okay, so in the quads, and you're going to try and pull in a little bit and push your hip back. So you're trying to get this stretch all the way up the front here and loosen all of this off. So sometimes in your lower back it's really tight. Everything at the front tightens up a lot too, and then you end up overextending your lower back. So you want to try and open that up at the front here. So grab onto the ankle and then try and pull your heel towards your bum and push your hip back like this. So you're pushing your hip back and squeeze your bum a little bit and see how that feels. If you can pull your heel in even more, that's okay. If not, you can just hang out about halfway and just get that stretch in the front of the hip. So really nice, lazy variation of a couch stretch. I really like this one. Keep trying to reach the hip back, or reach the knee back, pushing the hip forwards, and try and get that nicer stretch. And remember, breathing stays relaxed the whole time. After that, you're then going to change to the other side. So lie yourself down again on your pillow. We're being lazy today. Grab onto the ankle and then bring the leg behind you and then push back. Nice and slow. Pulling the knee back, pushing the hip forward, squeezing the glute on that side. Breathing staying nice and relaxed. And this takes a ton of pressure off the lower back. Sounds weird. If you open up the front, it helps to ease the lower back. So everything from the front connects through to the base of the spine. So we want to make sure that we loosen all that off at the front. So your lower back feels like it's got a bit of space. Awesome. If you can't quite do that, just if you try this one again, if you put your foot down behind you, you can still just push the hip forwards and try and get some kind of a stretch going on there if you can't quite grab on to the foot. But it's definitely something to work on if you can't quite do that yet. So after that, we've opened up the front, we open up the insides. We're going to work on a little bit of the rotation of the hips too. So a lazy 90-90, we're going to fall over onto one side and let our knees go out like this. So one leg in front is like this. So your knees in line with your hips, and the back leg, the knee and the foot are in line too. So this is the 90-90 position. From here, we're just going to try and lean forward a little bit and stretch out the glute on the left side. So left leg's in front, and that's the left glute that we're trying to stretch out. So I'm trying to reach my chest forwards and not just rounding my back to get lower. So I'm reaching into my hip. So I feel this in my hip as I do this. If I do this, it's just my lower back. So I want to try and get more into the hip. So I lean forwards, I keep my breathing nice and relaxed. I'm trying to lean forwards a little bit more. Keep trying to reach my sternum towards the floor in front of me. Then one more big deep breath. Leaning forward again. And then we swap sides. So right leg becomes the forward one, left leg is behind, and we reach forward into the hip. And again, we trying to get the sternum to come more forwards. So this side for me is always my tighter hip, so I would always like to spend a little bit longer on this side. And that kind of goes for all the stretches that we've done so far. If you notice one side significantly tighter than the other one, you can really tug on things in the lower back especially. So spend a bit longer on the ones that you maybe feel tighter on side to side. This is a follow along, so we'll not spend a bit longer on my tighter side. This is all about you today. So we've stretched out the hips. We've worked on a bit of rotation as well. Now we're going to get into some glute work. So get your pillow, and this is for our head this time. So now we're going to lie down on the back, nice and chilled. And from here, we're going to squeeze our bum and lift the hips up. So we're using our glutes to lift our hips. We're not just lifting the hips up, okay? So we're squeezing the glutes and we're using that to drive the hips up. And then from there, we bring them down nice and slowly. And even poke yourself here in the lower abs. So your lower abs should be on. So you shouldn't be just having your arch or your lower back arched and just extending your hips as high as you can. You want to be thinking about lower abs are on as if you're almost trying to start a sit-up, but you don't go anywhere. So you get the abs working, push your lower back into the floor, squeeze your glutes, and then use them to lift your hips up. So we've opened up the front of the hips here too, and we've worked on the rotation a bit, so there's a bit more range here to work with now. And now we can work through glute bridges. So we're going to do 10 reps, nice and slow, trying to keep the squeeze the whole time. So try not to lose that squeeze, even on the way down. It won't feel as strong. Try and keep that squeeze the whole time. So that's about 3, 4, 5. Trying to keep the squeeze the whole time. You should really feel your glutes almost immediately after like 3 reps if you're keeping the squeeze the whole time. If you're not, you're just lifting your hips. It's not enough. You've got to use your glutes. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, from here, we're going to work on a bit of single leg glute bridge stuff. So this is on the assumption that you would maybe struggle with these. So we're going to go up first of all, and we're going to then swap our weight to one leg. Push your arms into the ground to help you keep steady, and then change legs. So you're going to lift up the other leg. So you're trying to support yourself one glute at a time, and we're just marching on the spot. So change your weight nice and slowly, and then lift the leg. So this is great for your glute, great for your abs. It helps to work on that shift in the hips too. So single leg glute bridges are actually an anti-rotational core exercise because your hips are trying to drop the whole time and you have to fight to keep that up. So it's a really, really good thing to work on. And just for the likes of today, use your arms to help you have a bit more stability so you can find it a little bit easier. We're just marching side to side, nice and relaxed. Breathing stays nice and relaxed the whole time too. And each time you're on one leg, squeeze that glute, lift the other leg up. And then we swap, we squeeze that glute, we lift the other leg up. Nice. And then one final squeeze at the top, so the glutes are nice and warmed up. After that, we're now going to go into some side plank work. So have your pillow for your elbow. And we're going to do side planks from the knees. Even if you can do full side planks, this is more about getting the activation through the middle, okay? So if I just lift myself up, it's not really going to do much. I've got to think about creating tension, squeezing in. So I'm dragging my elbow towards my hip here. I feel my side already. Then from there, I use that to lift me up. So now I'm shaking, okay? So I can hold a full side plank easy enough, but if I do this right, I should be shaking and should be hard to hold. So I'm going to hold this for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep squeezing the whole time. 7, 8, 9. Make sure the neck's relaxed. And 10. Set it down. So sometimes people can assume that they need harder exercises or they're above basic exercises, but oftentimes you actually realize they're not doing the exercise to the best of their ability. You got to get the muscle activation. You don't just do a core exercise and expect to get a core stronger. You need to activate your core for the exercise. So it's really important that you get that difference. So remember to squeeze in towards the hips. So you're activating here first. Use that to lift you up, and then we hold for 10. Squeeze the glutes as well. Make sure you're pressing through the shoulder the whole time. Make sure that the neck's nice and relaxed. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then set it down, nice and chilled. And then we go to our full plank. So from here, don't need the pillow anymore, it's in the way. From here, on the elbows, and we're going to go into our plank position, and we're going to try and tuck our pelvis a little bit. And from here, same idea, we're not just going to hold the position, we're going to try and squeeze and contract as much as we can. So imagine you're pulling your elbows down even further, squeeze your glutes even harder, tighten your abs even more. So every time I count, I want you to try and create more tension in that position. If you can't hold a full plank, you can go from the knees. So set yourself up nice and long and just lift your hips up a little bit like that so you're on your knees. If you can hold the full plank, then go for the full variation. So from here, we close the hands and we go 1, we squeeze a little bit. 2, squeeze a little bit more. 3, squeeze a little bit more. 4, 5, try and increase the tension each time. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax it off. So again, someone might look at you doing that and think you really struggle with planks, but you're actually switching things on properly in the plank. And that's really what you want to be getting whenever you're doing core exercises. Last one we're going to do is called the dead bug. So that's when we're landing on our back again, thankfully. And from here, we're here. And what you're going to do is lift your knees up like this and your hands like this. And you're going to imagine you're trying to squeeze everything in as much as you can, but you don't actually go anywhere. So you're just imagine you're trying to bring your sternum towards your belly button and get as much tension through the middle as you can. If you don't find that hard at all to do, but you're still getting good tension, you can go with straighter legs and turn your toes in so they're facing each other. So you rotate inwards like this on both sides and try and have the legs a little bit straight. Same idea, we squeeze in and we hold that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then relax it off, shake off the legs, shake off the hips. It's not a nice position to hold if you're doing it properly. It's really not. So from there, that is our relaxing of the hips and activating of the core. If you're finding you're getting on-off back pain, it's a really nice circuit to do regularly. So save this video somewhere so you can come back to it. There is harder versions of all of these exercises as well that you would eventually want to progress onto, but this is a nice one to start with if you're a beginner, or if you're in the midst of a flare-up, or if you have disc injuries, things like that. This is a great one to come back to. So I would use these movements regularly if I was ever getting any kind of nerve pain, flare-ups or anything like that with my own disc injuries. Really, really helpful, and you'll find by switching the muscles on, it actually helps to relieve a lot of pain. So hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment, let me know how you get on, and we'll see you in the next one.